And let's go over the agenda, because it is recording, real quick. Release of the cover. Dina had already contacted me and said we'll get the first sample on the 12th, right?
Yeah, they oh, am I connected? Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
I've lost
can't hear you
my
at all.
No, we can hear you.
Oh, you're
I-
joking. Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, you know, they're very nice. There was a little, I had a hiccup because, as you guys know, my email address and my PayPal email address are not the same. So that was a little bit weird. But the woman is in contact with me. I think she's in European time zone because I'm getting emails from her. And she didn't give me a date, Kathleen. So that's the other thing. She didn't give me a date. She said
Yeah, they
about 10 days.
Yeah.
10, they take 10, 14 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And-
hopefully we'll have something on the 12th, and we'll have to only do minimal amount of adjusting if we have to do any. Second one, hi Anna, we're recording, we're going over the agenda.
Yes.
We're on
Okay, I
point
just got-
2. Yeah, I can see
Okay.
you now. I can see your whole head now.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Yeah.
email, Facebook, social media, put your reading on it. If you don't feel it, if you feel your 3 to 5 minute reading isn't the strongest, your writing is great. So put some in your newsletter, blog, social media. All of you are good writers, excellent writers. But I want, Lynn, did you send yours to everyone or just to me?
The YouTube video,
Uh-huh.
just to you. And it's also on the Transcendent Authors, my page on transcendent-authors.com.
And it's also on I already put it on my webpage too, or my YouTube. But go and look at hers. She, I mean, Dina, honey, you are so good. But yours doesn't call for, I think, as much emotion, drama, emotion. Yours is a quieter drama. Hers is more. So looking at these two, you're going to see a good contrast in good narration. Okay, so, and should shoot for it. I know Kevin and Jonathan, I haven't heard Yash do a narrative yet, but I've heard both of these two, and they have not only the narration, but the good, strong masculine voice to go with it. So once they get theirs done, that's a good one to listen to too, if you ever coach anybody. I haven't had a chance, none of us have had a chance to look at Linda's, so Linda gets to look at everybody's and then go, oh, okay, I know what style I want.
So when I make it, I send it off to who? Because I forget now. Because I
You
tried.
send it,
Oh,
you can send it to me, and I would appreciate if you would send it to Lynn. Everybody needs to send it to Lynn because it will be going on the website.
Right.
Right, I'm gonna do it when this is over.
Yeah, but you should put it on your, if you have a YouTube channel, you should put it on there, and you can get one for free. And you should put it on your website. And that is something you should, you could even take a smaller clip of that, like, only one instead of both stories to help do the advertisement. Because I did some intro back history when I did the event on Sunday, and mine was 10 minutes long for both my stories. So, and I got applause. So tickled. Everybody else got applause once they were through, but I got applause after each story. Yeah. So I also was telling them earlier, I had 2 people come up to me and they want to buy them already. So, but we can't put the anthology on early release on Amazon because it's not strictly Amazon. It has to be something that can go on Kindle Unlimited in order to be on there before.
Say that this is the date that it's going to go live, and say that it's not actually going to go live until a week later. And then we could say that that first week was available for pre-purchase, and nobody would realize. They'd order it and say, oh, hey, you know, I actually got it, instead of having to wait for the actual launch.
Well,
date.
then we, you know, that would be misrepresentation. Because when they get it for pre-order,
Yeah.
they don't get a book.
Yeah.
Not until it comes out.
I didn't say it was a good idea, did I?
Yeah.
That we could.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we could. We could. Absolutely, we could.
A lot of things they can do. Most of
But
them.
also, you know, back to what I was saying on point 2, if you are still intimidated by doing it and you haven't done it yet and you're real hesitant to do it, then put some of it in your blogs, in your newsletters, or letters to your friends and stuff like that. Put, you know, like maybe a couple paragraphs or something like that, or even what you would read, about 500 words, 500 to 600 words. Put that in there. Yes.
How much or how little can we put the words from our stories on our site without making Amazon pissed?
Well, that's why you put it in, you're not putting the whole thing on.
Do you know a percentage that's okay? Is there some sort of
No, but
legal
I
thing?
would keep it small. You don't want it to look like it's the ending.
Right.
A cliffhanger, yes. That's why I would say just do it, maybe what you would read. I think if you're a slow reader, it's like 485 words. If you're a fast reader, it's 585. Is 5
Thank you.
minutes. But you use your choice, what you want to do or what you can do. I plan on putting mine on my website and sending it out. Just because to me that's easier, and it's something that'll stay on my website for till the second coming, I guess. So long as I'm still alive, or my family wants to run it. The next thing, release of your reading to any avenue open. Again, it's that you can invite friends over. I've got something down here on the bottom. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4. Have friends over for coffee, share one of your stories. Just read it. Just tell them you want to read it and share what you're doing. And ask for their feedback. And then, or if you have, there is such a thing, I don't know if any of you heard of table readings. Yash has. It's where you have a short story, everybody takes one of the characters. If you have enough, and some double up, and everybody reads that character in the story as it comes along. And then everybody's read it, so they get to buy it and review it. They're arcs.
Good idea.
So it's just another way. I was just trying to brainstorm some ideas to get it out there beforehand, because we want to start building our arcs. We've got everybody's stuff. We're going through it now. This weekend, Celia and I will finalize everything. And if we have anything that we're missing, please check your emails. Please check your emails. If we are missing something, that is one of the first ways we'll contact you to get hold of you, saying, help, help. So we can get it, we want to get it out on Monday. That means we would have the ARC for you on Monday.
Mhm.
And everybody remembers what ARC means. Advanced Readers Copy.
200 cubits by 160 cubits by.
Yep, that's it.
I-
And
I
it's
actually went-
everything except for these animals, you're gonna have 8 of them.
7 of the clean and 2 of the unclean.
Yeah, 7,
But everybody
yeah.
forgets the 7. That's 7, so you still have 3 pairs after you sacrifice one. But I actually went on the Google Drive.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, Jane.
I'm confused.
Don't worry about it. She was describing this ARK. He was describing
Yeah,
that.
I was describing Noah's boat that was built by amateurs, not like the Titanic that sank, built by professionals. But on the Google Drive, there is a folder that says launch, and there's one for tolerance and one for autumn. We haven't made one for spring yet, but I took the ARC information from spring and saved it out. I mean, sorry, for autumn, and saved it out. And I put the name in there. We just still don't have the date. There's some other things, but it is tailor-made. So once we get a date, we just squeeze the date in there. So anybody that wants to use that, and it kind of says, this is what we do when we're asking for people to be an ARC. This is what we do when we're ready. And then here's where we're going to send them the link and they can get the stuff. And then here's where we remind them. So every step of the way is laid out in there. So
Yeah.
it's if you
And we're
look on
doing that same thing. These are just kind of add-ons, another way to get ARCs. Just remind them that they do have to agree to purchase the book, and we will have it for sale for 99 cents. For, I want to run it that way for 3 days. And I'd like to get a consensus about getting having all 3 of them for 99 cents as a special for the launch.
You mean each one is 99 or all together they're 99?
No, we can't put them all together yet,
Okay.
or I don't know how to do that. Let's
Okay,
put
I
it
just
that
wanted
way.
clarity about what you meant.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And I think we'll make more money if we say each one's going to be 99 cents.
But don't you think that'll take away from the spring? Since we're trying to promote the spring, do you think that'll take away from that or no?
I don't think so. It didn't last time when we did autumn.
Okay.
And we did the same thing with lowering the price to tolerance.
I think the
Did you?
the thought there is that if somebody looks at your new book and they may say, you know, even if they don't read the whole thing, they just, oh, wow, this opening piece was really good. There's other things from here. And I know that it's only going to be on sale for a short period of time. Here's a great way I can pick it up cheap. And then otherwise, you know, they may read it and then they may decide they want to go back and read some of the other things that we've written. But I don't think anybody ever really is just sitting out there going, I just really wanted to buy that book, but I'm waiting till the price drops. You know, nobody's doing that.
Well,
But
Hold on a
I
second.
mean, I
Dina,
will
go
say,
ahead.
well, just about the price thing, I don't get what's going on with Amazon. And a couple people now that I've been talking to them again, and they're, oh yeah, like I wanted to still buy autumn. Oh, it's $27.
Well,
Like, what's
now
up with
I just
the
saw it on there. It's 14.
which is still
It
more.
went
But
back down to
It's
14.
still-
hey, Dina, tell them to go to Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, we're talking about, I mean, I know people, I have, you know, they're all over the world and they use Amazon,
I
and
have similar problems.
it makes me feel pretty stupid, because when they come back and they're like, oh, well, I was thinking about really, I would like to hold your book. I want to get your book, Dina, teacher Dina, they call me.
I want
And
to
then
an analogy on the side, okay? And I'm going to talk about Congress. Congress wastes a lot of money, but they stand up and they talk about how they're going to save people money. And they're going to save people money by investigating the people that are spending the money exactly like they want to do this. I can go into more damaging details about that, but that's exactly what they do. So here's how that analogy relates to us. I don't like Amazon. I hate Amazon. I go on Amazon and look for stuff, and then I go to the website that Amazon will sell it to me from and buy it from there, because Jeff Bezos has enough money. But I'm going to use the hell out of Amazon because it is probably the world's largest bookstore. So when I tell my friends to buy it, I say it's available on Barnes and Nobles and that other place, Amazon. And maybe it's just me. Okay, maybe I just got a hard on for Jeff Bezos. I don't know.
You do.
But these kinds of things are the reason why I don't like Amazon, because they do have it in the agreement that we have to sign to go publishing through them, that they can change the price as they see fit, and they can justify it because they say the extra money we get, you're getting more money too. They're not just taking it all for themselves. But it's a bit of a soapbox. There's more to the soapbox, but nobody wants to hear it, and so I'll get off of it.
I went to call them and I looked at it again, and that's when I saw it was down to $14.
Mhm.
It's a change.
But Barnes and Nobles has it for 12.
Except we need the
Yes.
social proof of Amazon.
Need the what?
Social proof, that that's where everybody looks to see how well we're
Yeah,
doing. Yeah.
absolutely. I agree,
No,
100% agree. I can't change that, and I do it myself. I go to Amazon and I look for things, and then I say, where'd this come from? And then I go there and get it.
Okay, so
Uh.
back to the agenda. We cannot do early ordering on Amazon. Because if we do early ordering on Amazon, we don't have anybody but us to split the check. They won't do it.
Mhm.
And I don't want to have that nightmare. Dina doesn't want that nightmare.
Amazon does it that way so that we would be forced to use Amazon exclusively rather than other people. And
Well, the thing is all of them are that way. The only one that splits it is Draft to Digital.
that part, yes. But I mean, the other, Amazon could find a way to make it work. They don't want to because they don't get any money out of
Back to the agenda.
Amazon's
Are we
just trying
all
to.
okay with 99 cents a piece
Yeah,
for 3
Yeah.
Yep.
days? For
Sure.
3 days.
it. Yes.
And then
Yeah.
I'd
But
like to run it for another 4 days just for our launch book, and everybody else goes back up to $2.99.
But again, how do we do that if we
Oh,
don't
I
have
do it
control
through
over the
Draft to
Amazon
Digital.
price?
I do it through Draft
but-
to Digital.
So people have to buy it on Draft to Digital? They don't go to
No.
Amazon to buy it?
Draft to Digital sends it to all of the companies that are handling our books, and they change it to that price in US dollars.
Okay, but how can I sell it to people for 99 cents in this ARC group or whatever?
In the art group, just on those 3 days, it's going to be 99 cents. Well,
And
for
that's an
7
ebook,
days,
right?
I want it for a week for 99
not
cents.
But not through Amazon. That's through.
No, it'll be through everybody for 99 cents because it's a launch.
That'll be just
is
the
that an
ebook.
ebook?
It
yes.
must be a.
Yes, it's
Special
not
thing.
paperback. We'd be paying out the nose.
Yeah.
You have, if you put the paperback on sale less than what it costs to print it, you have to pay them for each book that's sold. And we're not doing that. I'm not doing that. I don't have any money.
That makes me think of two questions, but the first one, I heard you say that you wanted to do 99 cents for a whole week, which is what I was really thinking in the back of my head. But here is my question, which probably goes towards that slight misdeception, which may make everybody question my morals and ethics. But do we want to say for 3 days, we have this at the 99-cent price, and then on day 3 say, due to the sales that we've received, we're extending our 99-cent price for another 4 days?
I'd like to do that for spring.
Mhm.
The other ones, we're just gonna say we're in welcoming the sister book or brother book, whatever you want to call it. We're on sale for these two also for the first 3 days and then end it. The other books go back to the regular price. Yes, Lynn?
I have a question about the title. Is it Spring: The Unexpected? Or is it all Spring the Unexpected for the title?
I was thinking it would be spring, comma, the unexpected, but
I think that the question should be answered by Dina, because she sent the
yes,
title to
because
the
she came up
people
with
that are
the
doing the
title.
cover. What did she put? Whether she realized it or not. What did-
I actually don't think that's a key thing right now because we can wait. That's kind of small. But
yeah,
I
we
think I put a hyphen. Actually, I think I put a hyphen,
Like
Or like an
an
M
M
dash?
like
An
an
M
M
dash?
dash, right?
Yeah.
Like an M dash.
I kind of like it punctuation mark free, just
Uh.
from the unexpected. But I'm
I personally like the
I
M
don't
Gonna
dash.
care.
be,
I like the M dash too.
gonna be really.
as long as it's not that annoying in dash. Yeah.
It's just
Or a hyphen
Just-
trying to be an M dash.
Mhm.
Well, those are worse. yeah.
Okay, ARCs. We'll send you a copy and it'll be shared through Book Funnel, which is exactly what is on that list that Jonathan was talking about. So everything on that is going to be the same. And just reminding them that they have to buy one. If they only read, you can tell them if they only read 1 or 2 stories, if they will at least review that,
Mhm,
that would be a review.
mhm.
They don't have to say they didn't read the whole thing. Like they did last time, a couple of Jane's fans were like, oh, we follow Aletta B everywhere. You know, everywhere she writes, we follow her. And she's always 5-star.
Wow.
Woohoo.
Oh, yeah. So, you know, they can do that. They said, we read her 2 stories and they were just wonderful.
Oh my goodness, she's getting the vapors.
Yeah, but they didn't
Awesome.
say,
Damn.
they didn't read the rest of the book.
You're giving her
So
the
it's
vapors.
okay.
You're giving her the
It's
vapors.
still a legitimate review.
It's twice as funny because on my screen, Kevin is above Jane. So as he's waving, it's like the vapors are actually making it going into his.
yeah, that could be a sci-fi channel bad movie, Vapornado.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay, as soon as
A
we
small
have the
town.
cover, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, I've been cutting everybody off. As soon as we have the cover, you can do a cover reveal.
Yeah.
Because we'll send that out to you in all the formats so that you can splash it up on your website. Coming soon. Coming the 31st or the 31st of March. You know, be an ARC, call me now. And they're going to say, what's an ARC? Let me call them. No. Yeah, but you know, beef up that. If you know somebody who owns a bookstore, used bookstore, anything like that, print that puppy out and have put across it coming March 31st to a retailer near you. And you can tell them how they can get it. Or you can, like with our used bookstore here, I take them in and then she sells them and then she pays me. She doesn't bother going through the company. She just comes to me. So that's another thing.
I know there's a lot that goes into it, but
Mhm.
is the 31st a hard date, or is it just the hard date that we're moving for right now? And if something happens in the next 2 or 3 days, it could change, but after that, we should be set.
Yeah, in the next couple of days, if things don't change, the 31st is the hard day.
Okay.
Okay, that because we are doing the, I talked to Daniel, he's going to be sending some questions out pretty soon to us that he's going to be asking everybody on Meet the Authors. He won't ask you all of those questions, but have an answer for all of them. And there's some that he needs to know, like just a little bit about you when he introduces you and starts talking with you as an individual, so that he can ask more leading questions, get more information from you in the interview and make it seem more natural. He's very, very good at this.
He sure is.
I have a
So,
question.
yes, ma'am.
So to promote the launch date, now that would be something we should have on our websites and Facebook. Do you have like a promo piece that you're putting out like you did for the Sunday event that we could just sort of use that information
I
across the
don't,
board?
but I can do something. I was
Okay.
going to. I've been trying, I was hoping that we would have at least the logo soon, but we won't see the logo until this Thursday or next Thursday, right?
I have, hold on one second. Because Heidi, I did hear from Heidi. Okay, so she said that she's testing out several fonts to see how they mesh with the design. And she's also playing with the logo's transparency with its relationship to the script and font. And seeing if she could make the teal. She's looking at the teal color to make it pop better.
Mhm.
So that's where she is right now.
Okay. If she's got it done, as soon as she gets it down, is everybody okay with having an emergency meeting? As many as can get there. I know Kevin, you and Jonathan work, and I know so does Anna, so, and Lynn and Linda and Dina, you know, everybody works. We'll just work it in as best we can. But I want us to, you know, get on it right away.
I'm good with
Yeah,
emergency
we have
as
to,
long as it doesn't happen at the time on my calendar that I'm scheduled for spontaneity.
Okay,
uh-huh.
that works.
I-
Works for me,
we-
Jonathan.
It would
Okay.
really be good to have that so that I could give it to the people that are doing the cover, because don't we want that on like the spine or something? So
Hmm.
Yes, we do.
the sooner we decide, the better that
Yep. That
enables
way
that
you
to
can get it
happen.
to them also.
I mean, we don't want to do too many revisions with them, like you
Yes.
say. Although I'm
and then-
worried.
After that, this is just the things, and make sure you check out your own video, have someone else watch it, preferably not a good friend or family, unless there's somebody that's always honest with you.
I'm going to run out to my enemy right now and be like, read this quick.
Yes, yeah, but you understand why I say that, because
Yes, I
not
do.
everybody will tell you you need to change something. They don't want to offend you. But I can't encourage you enough to look at Lynn and Dina's. As soon as we get them up, as soon as they're on the website, go look at them. I will send what I've got to Lynn so mine can go up there too, because I'm speaking in front of a group. So it's a little bit different than just reading it straight in.
It's a better dynamic too. Your agenda says make sure you check your own video out, but what you really meant to say was make sure you check out Lynn and Dina and your own video.
Yeah. Because I just want you, you know, I know Kevin, I know Anna, Jonathan, Jane, all know about emoting. I don't know, I'm pretty sure Linda over her time has learned how to do that. I don't know about Yash, and I don't know about Jerry. So, you know, this is the first time that I think, Yash, have you ever read something formally?
I have my MFA thesis reading.
Okay. Okay, so you have an idea of what you're facing. Yes, Anna?
I think I didn't get the people who are ready to be our ARC group. They are going to read the stories and then buy the book. But
Yeah.
Where and how and when do we send them what they have to read?
We're gonna, Celia and I are compiling the manuscript to put in so that then we can send it to the editor for proofing, the final proofing. So when you give it to them, tell them you are not asking them to critique it as far as spelling, punctuation, anything like that. It's going to the proofer already. We just need to know if they like the stories, if it flows well, if it's something that they would like to buy and give as a gift, those type of things. And then that they would write a review once they make a purchase. And we really need that review within the first 48 hours.
Do you know, I mean, if we launched it on the 31st, because I have this problem with ARC readers where they couldn't go in and do a review. And then there was a lot of communication back and forth. It was a bit of a mess to
Mhm.
try. Yeah, because Amazon, I don't know, there's a date when you can do it, when Amazon
No,
has
it's
it,
not
or
that. What it is if you haven't purchased $50 of
oh,
product
that was it. Right.
from
Okay.
Amazon sometime in your
Right.
life,
They don't, right? They don't let you do it. That's
they
it.
won't
Okay.
let you do it.
I also have that issue. Okay. With a lot of people.
Yeah, see, that was never an issue with me, but and most of the people I know,
Right.
they buy groceries from Amazon. What can I say? So
So they will
That's
have the whole text together with the editors. That's when we send to the art people. And they will buy it when it comes out on Amazon. Right.
it'll come out on Amazon on the 31st of March, unless we tell you otherwise.
Okay, and it will come, the text will come to us like on the 22nd.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And then you will review what the proof editor has written, and you will go in and see if there is anything that she changed that you didn't want changed. It doesn't read the way you want it to read. Then put it back the way
But
you
at
want
the
it.
same time, yeah, at the same time, the same text will be at the art people.
Yes. But
Thank
don't tell them
you.
that. Don't tell them what
No.
the editor's doing. Yeah,
No. Okay, thank you.
yeah. Because we're hoping to get it back so that get my calendar here. We're hoping to get it back from her around the 22nd or the 23rd. And then you have 30, not 36,
2 hours.
72 hours to fix.
Yeah, 36.
Get that done. And then, because we need to start loading it, see if we're going to run into any problems, because one of the hardest sites to load to is Kindle. So if somebody's, double check any place that you might have put any of your short story on for free. Make sure you've pulled it. That it's not on there, so that when we do turn it over to Kindle, when they do it, they really do an actual investigation to see if it's out there anywhere.
And this is for Spring the Unexpected. You're not talking
Mhm.
about Tolerance or Autumn or anything like that.
No, any of the short stories in there that you wrote for Spring the Unexpected, if they are out anywhere on the internet for free, we're in trouble. It holds us up, can hold us up as much as 48 hours. Okay?
Mhm.
Because they notify us right away. And then Celia and I go digging to find out whose it is and get hold of them. And then they have to get it off, and then we can write Amazon saying it's down. It's not up there anymore. And then they go and check. Only they don't move as fast as we do. Because we want it out there. We have a deadline, they don't. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, I loved your spreadsheet. I thought I printed it out. I did. I got it here.
Oh, and I have a question too for
Okay,
y'all
go
about
ahead.
money. Since you've gotten all the things, or maybe I should wait till next week when you and you guys have compiled it, but I just wondered what our price was going to be for the copy editing, because you know what it is per word. I know we were a little bit over with words,
It's a
so,
penny. Yeah, we're quite a bit over with words.
because you can all look at that spreadsheet. We don't even have $800 right now.
Mhm.
And I remember your original, I mean, we'll get it when everybody is all paid up, but anyway, we don't have $800 right now to pay a proofreader. And if it's more than $800, we're gonna
Yeah.
have some trouble.
She's Norm, I will talk to her again and ask her if we can pay like half of it when we hand her the manuscript. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
and
whatever. And just, if
Yeah.
it's gonna be more than $800, we should be real aware. Like you sent out that wonderful email, Kathleen, I thought that was really great. That, we've got to take responsibility to be within this word limit because it's really
Mhm.
what our budget is.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
So, and this is the most expensive one we've ever done.
Because we were also,
'Cause we
Excited
had
with our
3 of you
words.
that were very, very prolific.
yeah, okay.
So it's, we can't do that again.
I mean,
'Cause
okay,
you're s-
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because,
I just, you can look
Yeah.
at the money. I don't, we don't have the money to do it. It's
Mhm.
not
Mhm.
cool.
no,
I wonder what's gonna, I mean, if she doesn't do that, it's like, what am I supposed to pay for it out of my own
Mm.
money and,
Mm.
kind of thing. I'm sort of
Mhm.
feeling weird about it right
Yeah.
now because people wrote different amounts. Yeah. Okay.
For what it's
Anyway,
worth,
enough of
it's
that.
$100.
Question
We'll figure
about
it out.
this. I'm looking at the author balance after expenses paid, and I don't know
Yep.
what that means. Like, does this mean I owe 141?
Let me look on it.
That's a tough one.
Let it, no, you have
Mhm.
that in
Nothing
positive.
yet.
That's
Oh,
your,
so
because
balance
you,
means it's in the bank for us.
right, it's in the
Okay,
bank for
not
you.
balance due, but balance. Okay.
No.
Okay.
In fact, the balance due, if you look at the column right to the left, Jane, it says
Uh-huh.
amount still due for current season, which is spring. You have 0. You
Oh,
have
yeah.
paid completely through the end of April, which is
Yeah.
our season.
Thank you.
Any other questions with that?
Mm-mm.
no,
And if anybody wants to see reconciliations with PayPal and stuff like that, I'm happy to send that to you. It gets a little complicated between Zelle and PayPal, but I am reconciling it. If anybody wants to see that at any time, I can show them.
and this is very, very, very good. And if you keep doing this, then everybody just keeps a copy of it for your taxes. Because
Yeah.
that tells you how much you paid dues for a writing association
Mhm.
for income taxes. And I just did my taxes and I find out in 2 weeks what I'm gonna get paid back or if I'm gonna have to pay.
Did we hit everything on your agenda?
Yes, I
Kathleen?
did. Now it's time to read.
Okay, well, no, I had earlier, I said I had 2 questions and I only asked 1. So I saved
Okay,
1.
what's your second one?
And then that second one actually turned into like a half of another one. The second question is, when we did tolerance, they didn't have the print capabilities up and running yet, and then they got it up. So when we did autumn, we thought we were going to do those both at the same time, but COVID, everybody uses COVID as an excuse, right? So they didn't. Are we going to have paperback at the same time we launch this time, or is there still going to be a delay?
Right now, there's still a delay because of product
Okay. And then
and workers, because we still have the problem with work. I don't know about where you live, but here, the people still are not going back to work that have had their dependent money cut off. They're just saying, I'd rather stay at home. It costs me more for babysitter than if I go to work. So that's what they're doing. I mean, some of the restaurants, they close early now. They've changed their hours. They have signs up saying, thank you for being patient with us because nobody wants to work. You know,
I think we're still having some of those issues here. It's
Yeah.
some things are getting back to normal,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but you know, it's I don't know. It is what it
We
is.
have the same problem here.
Oh,
Really,
Lynn?
Yeah,
I have a website update.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
Sorry.
I want to ask Anna though before you do your update, because you said you have the same problem there. So Joe Biden's checks are no longer coming to Israel too.
sorry?
Sorry. No,
He's
I was
being sarcastic.
No,
no seriously.
Again, say again.
I made a joke. Forget the joke, because I was seriously asking. You said that you have the same issues that are going on in Israel, and that I don't know how that works or what that problem is. Maybe I should just ask that later. I'll ask that later. We'll get Lynn and her
No,
website
it's-
update. But I love knowing
Well, the
about
problem-
things in other countries.
No, that's fine. It's fine. The problem is already almost, more than a year. It started with the COVID, with people that were, laid off, and then they got from the government, they got unemployment salaries, and now they don't want to go back to work because why should they if they get from the government money? So that's a big problem here. So it's been going on. And also, like Kathleen said, it costs more to pay the babysitter than going to work. So mothers aren't going to work.
Mothers
And,
or fathers.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
there's always an excuse. Now it's the war with Ukraine, the excuse. Doesn't have anything to do with us, but it's an excuse.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I
I wanna-
know when my third grandson was born, it cost, my daughter had the better paying job, so my son-in-law stayed home. And that's when he said 3 was enough.
My wife and I made a conscious decision with the first one. And about a month and a half before our first daughter was born, we made the decision that she was going to stay at home. And I can tell you from experience, the United States is not set up to have a one income stream family.
No, it's
And
not.
it was extremely hard. And there was, we wouldn't have made it without family and friends' help. And I'm pretty comfortable now. But now I'm looking at my kids and my kids are struggling. And Ginger says, well, it's harder for them. And I'm thinking, no, it's not harder for them. It's just scaled, and then
Mhm.
anyway, you mentioned Ukraine, and this is definitely something I'll come back to later because I just found out something about that Babin Yar site that got bombed that blew my mind away. But
It didn't. It
Yeah.
didn't. It was misinformation. It was intended misinformation. The thing is still there. What do you call the whole memorial? The whole memorial is still there, intact. Nothing happened to it. It was just intended fake news.
But let me tell you what it did. I went to their website. I've spent an hour looking at their website, and it is fascinating.
Yeah.
So it may have been intended misinformation, but it has had the exact opposite effect because now I want to go to the Ukraine, period. But
Yeah, but don't go just now. Wait about a week.
probably a week or two at least. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Lynn,
Or
Lynn,
two,
you're
yeah.
up.
But Lynn,
Will come
Lynn.
down from the tree in a week. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
I'll mute so I can stop interrupting the meeting. We'll let Lynn give us her.
okay, but anytime I'm here.
Mhm. So on the website, you all have your page. You can go look at it. I did receive revised bios from some of you, but not from everybody. If you go to the page and you see something that needs to be revised or you want more information added, just reach out to Linda, Michelle, and I, and we'll do that for you. Also, your videos can go up on the website. So when you send them to Kathleen, send them to me as well. And I worked on the anthologies page last night and created the tolerance and the autumn, and you can see what I did with that. And
Do you want me to
well,
bring
it's a
it
work
up?
in progress. The about page is really still being worked on. We need more content for that and probably some other ideas. But, we should be able to, once we get the logo finish up the website fairly soon
Right.
as well.
Yeah, we said by the 24th. Do you want me to bring the website up?
Sure, you can.
Yeah,
You
go
want-
right ahead.
I haven't done the alumni authors pages yet. There's 6 of them I have to do
Did you get information on them?
from the books.
Okay.
That's the only
Um,
information.
Well,
Yeah,
Daniel
good.
said anytime you need anything more than what he sent, then give him a call or
Right.
email, and I'll give you this information.
I think I sent a message to Kathleen because I don't know if we actually reached out to the alumni members, but we probably ought to. I can't possibly imagine that they don't want to have something in there, but they may not want to have something, or there may be something particular that they want their picture or page to look like also.
Right, and there's nothing on there
Mhm.
that isn't already published in the books. So to that degree, people have agreed to it. Just
Yeah.
Mhm.
I still, it probably just encourage nothing else. And if you want, I'm not against contacting all of them and doing that.
Uh-huh. Now,
This
if you
is
click
really
on
nice.
tolerance contents, LM,
Amazon again. I mean, we gotta
Oh,
change that.
Oh,
I like
then it all
that.
links to, these all link back to your page. If they click on the link for the story, they'll go to your author's page.
Way
And I can
cool.
add
Beautiful.
other
wonderful.
places to purchase it besides the link to Amazon, if that's something we want to do.
Yeah, well, you can go, we can also go into any of us. You just need my information and I'll give that to you. You go in and make a universal code for it.
That's what I was
Okay.
going to say.
Goes
We
to
really
all-
need to
it
put
can
a
go to all
universal
of them.
code,
Let's see.
wow.
especially
Look,
because it looks like we're
$30 for the paperback.
$30 for the paperback.
$30. Yeah.
Now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, see, look,
Yeah,
it looks
that's what it says.
$30.
Yep, 3081.
I mean, I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
even, I give up trying to fuel.
I wouldn't pay $30 for our book.
No, I wouldn't either.
No, I can't. I mean,
Well,
I haven't done anything to the contact
Okay.
page.
I think that's a good reason why we need to have that universal link, and then people can choose to go their own way.
Mhm.
But I did go into the draft to digital doesn't tell us whether we sold an ebook or a paperback book, but we have sold another copy of Autumn and another copy of Tolerance. So that's 2 copies of Tolerance and 1 copy of Autumn this year so far.
Mhm.
It's beautiful.
It's
yeah, it
gorgeous.
is. It
You
is
guys have
beautiful.
just done a beautiful
Yes.
job.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, look at the and look at the genre.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a new thing for
did
genres. That was
genres.
a
Oh, yeah.
Michelle's idea.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Really, really gorgeous.
Mm-mm-mm.
I really like it.
Good.
I love it.
Have we thought about doing anything so that our photographs look more like the same kind of background or the same kind of, I don't know.
I was supposed to take one and get a no background, Jane's or Aletta B, and who was
I
Long
know, I think
Michelle's
mine
got a
does.
background too.
Like Kevin is so different. And my husband was like, oh, he's outside in a park. And I was like, yeah, I guess
Oh,
it's very different, you know.
But I'm
And then
not normally
Yasha's
a
is so
happy.
dark and Larry's is so white. So it was
Uh-huh.
like they look sort of funny. And we
Well,
could
I
get
know in
some,
Canva, you can just take the background right out and you can put anything else back there that you want.
like these are yellow or white. There you've got
Mhm.
for the,
Mhm.
I don't know.
There
Just
was
curious.
at one point, like for instance, those yellow ones, they did that. Somebody took out all the backgrounds and
right,
put in yellow
right.
for Tolerance. And I think we probably ought to do that because as I know Kevin's looks great with that tree in the background.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but then
great
I'm
I think they're
jealous.
fun.
I mean, I want a tree
out there
too.
to,
Then we all
I'm
gotta
dressed
have
up for Mardi Gras in
trees.
Kandahar. You can't even see my handlebars there, but it's got a yellow background instead of the austere Afghanistan background that was really in that picture.
And LM, that's not your photograph, is it? That's a weird photograph.
Yeah, no, we did. I had a photo. It's called photo art because it translates better when it goes on to other medias. So I had, so I actually had them do. So like if you look at it on, God, I can't think of it, but some of the other medias, other social
But
medias.
so,
Like
but then maybe
Twitter.
we all should do that or something.
Well,
Should-
you gotta-
I mean,
you
I
gotta-
just was thinking.
Well,
try to have
I
something
can
similar.
give you the guy's name that did it.
Okay.
But
No, I
he
mean, I'm
did-
not gonna do it unless we're all gonna do it. I'm just saying,
Right.
let's just, I was thinking to try and get us
Well,
all
but I
doing
think,
it.
but I think we're all different. I think we're all different. and
I think
we
it's
need to
fine,
acknowledge
but
that.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna try taking
Yeah,
the background
okay.
out of it. See what happens.
We
Well,
are
I'm gonna
different
go have
also,
my
right?
picture.
Different things. So we appear different. That
Right.
I mean, but our
Doesn't
faces are
bother.
different, but
Right,
we
and
want
we're
it
all
to be
different.
professional, don't we? A little bit professional, a little bit.
I think if we took the backgrounds out or had a same background, if we had one that we all agreed and liked, that would probably be better. And if we did like we've done there, like the yellow background or the white background, it should probably be a color that matches up with our website color. So for instance, I think the yellow looks a little bit better than the white background does because our page is white. But I wouldn't take any advice on matching colors from me because I say salmon is a fish, not a color.
Mhm.
Well, I think the other thing that you have to take into consideration at this juncture, doing a major change like that is a lot of work. Now, if you want to change your individual photo, we still have time.
Yeah.
But I mean, to do a major thing at this juncture, that's just gonna be a lot of extra work.
Yeah.
No, I
would-
just thought it was something that was on that Kathleen, you were thinking about doing. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I just want to take the background out
The editor, so she comes.
of the other one. So I'll do it online probably find a time with Lynn and we can do it together and she can pick the background. Because I'm not that good with artistic color things. Matching and stuff. My husband does, he's color deficient and he's better at decorating than I am. So, did I tell you anything?
There's one comment that I would like to make, and I wasn't trying to say let's make a whole lot more work for anybody else. I'm good with what we got if it keeps us from having to redo a lot of stuff. But I pulled this up on my iPad, and it could just be the device that I'm looking at. But
It's not been formatted for mobile yet.
right,
You do that last after everybody likes it. Otherwise you end up formatting for 3 devices over and over and over.
I'm tracking on that, which is why when I went to show my wife, I pulled it up on the iPhone and she was like, that doesn't look right. And I was like, never mind, forget it. You got to look at it on a desktop. But I don't know if this is just something that, because I'm looking at it on a mobile device, it's exaggerated, but the size of the cover of Tolerance and the size of the color of Autumn are different. And it could just be a format, and because I'm looking at it on a mobile device, I don't know.
Well, I haven't formatted it for mobile yet, so I don't know why that would be. They're exactly the same size. Both pictures are exactly the same size.
If that's what it is, then it is probably just a function of the mobile device. And when we get it all where we want it to be, and then we format it for the mobile device, if it jumps out at us, then it'll jump out at us then. But
Okay.
it could just be something that's, a very minor difference and we can't tell a difference. I don't know.
No, the pixels are exactly the same. The pictures are 500 by 333 or 333.
Well, and I think the other thing too, again, you're seeing work in progress. We gave ourselves to the 24th to really have it where it needs to be. So like, while we hear your suggestions and comments, just keep in mind that, it's a work in progress. If you want to change your picture, just let us know. And we could do that.
Okay. Now, on to the reason for this meeting. Who's going to be read first, Anna or Yash?
I can be the first.
Well, okay. Who wants to read Anna's story? I will.
I could do it.
Please.
Okay, you do it.
Okay.
And who's going to read Yash's?
I Can do it.
Okay. Now, Yash, does yours go
Mhm,
until
that's fine.
it changes color of ink?
Um,
Is
the
that
the
true?
colored section is the one to be read. Yeah,
Oh, the color section is the one to be read?
yeah. I think it's in purple.
Purple or red, something like that, yeah. And
Yeah.
Anna, is yours just the,
I also colored red.
uh-huh. Yeah. Yep, it's purple, Yash.
Okay, yeah, that's the section to be read then.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay, I'm just going to Yash's story.
Yeah.
1 second.
Yash, do you have yours, Anna's ready?
I do.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and start?
All right. All right. Middle of the night. Tough to fall asleep. Trickier to stay asleep if you dwell in the claws of perennial insomnia. Challenging if shivering fever keeps you hostage. At home and in a separate bedroom from your lover, from your husband, from your partner of some many decades. I was heading to the kitchen, my shoulders slumped lower than my mood, my legs as numb as a drugged zombie. Maybe a glass of hot milk would do the job. Out of the darkness from my husband's bedroom, petrifying screams of pain spread in waves shattering the nighttime stillness like the high-pitched screeching sound of colonies of bats, their cries ricocheting off the walls. My eyes burned from the high fever and I blinked as the fear-induced shock entered my consciousness. I steered my heavy, fiery body towards his bedroom in great pain. What happened? Why are you screaming? My weak, trembling voice sounded strange even to my ears. Pain, intense pain. Where? In my body, woman. Where else? My pulse increased its rhythm as if preparing for an Olympic marathon. My lover was never sick, never a complaint, at least never one as fierce as tonight. My increased heartbeats threatened to choke me as if hands were squeezing my throat. Myriad thoughts raced through my mind, none that made sense at that moment. Should I call a doctor? Should I make him tea? More cries for help from the bedroom. I clenched my teeth and froze on the spot. Heavy knocks on the front door. I didn't move. I swallowed hard as sweat rolled down my forehead into my inflamed eyes. Was it the fever or the fear? Both maybe. Stronger bangs on the door. I snapped out of my stupor and plodded to the entrance hall. Damn carpets, must get rid of them. Hyperventilating from the physical effort, an alarmed mind. I unlocked the front door and our neighbor pushed herself inside the flat. I heard the shouts. Damn the thin walls in this building. A deep crimson color covered my embarrassed face and neck. From the bedroom, more screams. I can't stand it much longer. I'm gonna die. Not to worry, volunteered the kind woman. I'll take care of everything. A whirring eternity elapsed in less than a few minutes, and the eardrum piercing siren from the approaching ambulance woke up the rest of the neighbors. My lover fainted on his way up to the rescue car. Shame and self-loathing guilt upset my stomach as I had to entrust my precious gem in the hands of a neighbor's goodwill. Disgust brought nausea and a sour tang to my mouth. Darn bug forced me to stay put, wishing me to be there to have gone with him. Instead, I depend on strangers because of a contagious, despicable germ. Influenza A, the doctor said, his tone deferential, as if expecting a deep curtsy. Sleep is a fantasy, utopia. Should I contact the children? Not young anymore. Both married with toddlers of their own. Time is slowing down. I panic about a gloomy future without my lover. He's always been my harbor and my shield. Soulmates. What about all those countless loving, tender, fairy tale moments of our long life together? Is it possible forever was getting near. Until death do us part. Is it already here?
Oh, that's good, Anna.
Yeah.
Really good. Good job. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you. Thank you. Now to the guillotine.
Actually, does anybody have anything on page 1, which was the middle of the night down to the last paragraph, my pulse increased?
I
This
do.
was-
I have one little thing.
Okay,
Let's
all
do it.
right, Josh, why don't you go first before you forget?
Okay. Okay, down to the pulse. Yeah, my main one was on the, the paragraph. Out of the darkness from my husband's bedroom, petrifying screams of pain spread in waves. I think that whole paragraph could be trimmed a bit, I don't think you need to say screams of pain. I think just even screams spread and wave, and shattering the nighttime stillness. And then maybe say something up the lines of akin to the screech. They reminded me of bats screeching. Just because I feel like at this point, it feels like there's just a little purple prose there.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Almost like too much description.
Yeah, and like I said,
Okay.
So
I think, yeah.
I would recommend that you take at least one of them away. One of the descriptions.
The screams and the bats.
Yeah, you could take out, I personally would probably take out the ones about the bat. I like the petrifying screams of pain, spread in waves, shattering this nighttime stillness. I think that's all you
Okay.
really need. That alone,
Okay.
all of us at one time or another have heard somebody scream in incredible pain, and you just freeze up. So yeah, it doesn't need more than that.
Okay.
Lynn, you
Yeah.
said you found something, or it was Jane?
Yeah, I had a little one. I don't have it in front of me, so I'm not sure where it is, but near the beginning, the fear-induced shock. I'm thinking, is there any other kind of shock?
Mhm.
I don't know if fear-induced is necessary.
Where is it? Which
Oh,
paragraph?
I understand where she's talking about.
It's right after the last paragraph.
Yeah,
The last paragraph?
Yeah, it's right after the cries ricocheting off the wall and the bats, the next paragraph. My eyes burned with a high fever and I blinked as the fear-induced shock
Ah,
entered my
yeah.
consciousness.
So
Yeah.
you would take it out. Okay.
just plain
Well,
shock.
Thank you.
You just take out fear induced. You don't
Yeah.
need that because that's what causes shock.
All
So
right.
what, yeah.
It's redundant, yeah.
And I'd like to
Thank
say,
you.
you could express the shock without saying shock by saying, I cringed with fear, which gives you an image of somebody being in shock,
Mm-hmm.
rather than just saying, I was shocked, or I was mad, or
yeah.
I was something. Showing it would be really good. I want to go back to the bat thing here, and my dad knows this. We have Carlsbad Caverns. I mean, you have millions of bats,
Mm-hmm.
swirling, come out. You don't hear them. It's ultrasonic. You don't hear the bat. You feel that they're near, and that's just as intimidating as 4 million of them are spiraling out of the cave, and there's seats built up around it. So they swoop in near you, right? Dad, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, in fact, I had the same opinion myself about the screeching of the bats. You don't really hear them.
You don't hear it, but
Okay.
there is something that you hear. It's the flapping. It's the presence of 1 million bats above you. And there is a sound they make, and I'm not sure how much of it you really pick up on. Certainly,
Because bats are blind and they they move according to the echo that they
Yeah.
hear from the walls. You know?
Now, I don't
So,
know, right, but you don't hear it. But however, it may be that fruit bats or something in other parts of the world make an audible sound for us here. So I can't, because I've heard that bat screeching or screeching of bats.
Yeah, but
It's a common thing to say,
Chittering.
but it might not be the kind of bat that I'm used to. It might be that kind of big, flying fox type of bat, which is certainly just as spooky. But there is something to the
Okay.
bat being there. It's just not an audible screech.
all right, thank you.
I still like it. I'm saying I like the idea of feeling that, but I'm not sure how to best say it.
No, because
Okay.
if you've, a lot of military bases just happen to be built around cliffs, and they have the bats that come out at night. We get bat strikes and stuff like that. But when you're talking, usually you've got a couple 100,000 coming out at once, or a minimum of 50,000 to 100,000. And if they were all screeching, nobody could stand. The noise would be just so astronomical that it would be overpowering. What you're hearing is usually when they're coming home, there's a chirping. And so it's not
There's
a
something,
screech.
there's something that
Yeah.
you hear.
Okay, second page. I had something. It's second to the last paragraph. My lover fainted on his way up to the rescue car. Was the apartment in the basement?
Mm.
Right.
Because he,
Okay, so
so it should be
you should
down
have gone to
to
the elevator. To the
or down-
elevator first.
to the elevator or whatever. Because they're going to bring a gurney up the elevator,
Yeah,
and then they're going to put him on the gurney, and then they're going to take him down the elevator. My husband only the last time did not completely put himself on. He needed help to get up off the ground and to get on the gurney. Otherwise, all the
I
other
have-
times taking it.
I have to think about it because she cannot leave the apartment. So I have to think about this scene.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
I have a little thing. Josh, you want to go?
No, after you, please.
Okay. I'm embarrassed because I may have just missed something. At one time, she called him her husband, another time her lover. So I wasn't, is it two different people or is it?
I know, they're one person.
Okay.
Because sometimes
Honestly,
you can be one and not the other.
No, she's a perfectly good woman. She's just sick.
Okay.
Maybe give him a name. Maybe give him a name.
The neighbor, we don't know.
I think it the way she switched it because, I can remember, I think it was probably around our 20th wedding anniversary or something like that. I went to introduce my husband and I couldn't remember his name because he's always been my sweetheart, my lovey, daddy, Papa. And so when I went to give his name, I'm looking at him. Yeah, because for so many years, either that or it's, Sergeant Osborne.
Okay, there could be a whole novel called Daddy.
Yeah. That's it. Lynn, did you have something?
Yeah, my increased heartbeats threatened to choke me. I was trying to envision if your heart's beating faster, does that make you feel choked in your throat?
Yeah.
I don't know if that really does that.
It does.
But I get that you could feel choked and your throat's tightening and also your heartbeats are increasing.
To a certain
not
extent,
sure.
because I get heart flutters.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
it's like a bird is trapped right here at the base of my throat.
Oh, okay.
And it flutters, and sometimes there is like a small obstruction, and sometimes there isn't. But it's not a big obstruction.
Mhm.
That can come from something else. But the fluttering is just like it's trapped from in this circle here.
Hmm.
And I can just, it's like this, just the wings fluttering inside. If you've ever held a baby chick and its little wings are fluttering because it doesn't know which way to go.
Okay.
I have one thing, and that's the second line from the top. And Yash is the one that he doesn't even realize he did it. He read that sentence, myriad of thoughts, not myriad thoughts. He put the word of,
Okay,
and it does belong there.
okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
I also had a few small things. One was that in the last red paragraph was I noticed that there was a switch in tense. Until death do us part. Is it already here, or shouldn't that be was it already, or was it already here?
Oh,
You
Well,
didn't read that part though, but that's okay.
well, she is thinking, that is it here that the time that the death separates them? Is it already, has it arrived the moment that they, that he is going to die, and then they'll be separated?
I would take the already out.
Is it here?
And not an error,
Sorry?
just a sorry, I was
go
just gonna
ahead.
say, sorry.
Yash, go
Yeah.
ahead.
And not an error, but just something that I was curious about was this, in terms of the spellings of neighbor and harbor. I was just wondering if this is meant to be in Canada or the United Kingdom.
United Kingdom. I write British English.
British, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
I
cool.
don't like the Queen, but I was educated in British English.
Britain, okay.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no, no mistake, just curious.
Okay.
Yeah. I see what caught him though. The last two, second from the last line of that paragraph. Was it possible forever was getting nearer? Until death do us part. Was it here? Instead of is.
Yeah, that, okay.
She said starts out with time is slowing down though at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, so it needs to be is. So down here, is it possible forever is nearer? I wouldn't say getting, I would just say is. And until death do us part, is it here?
Okay. Okay.
Because those two words getting and already don't do anything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anybody else? I
She
can
asked
take
You
it.
also
Send
wanna
you
beat
mine.
me up?
Just
Reading.
throw it at me. I can take it.
I did have a feeling in the beginning that I sort of wanted the fever to, the idea of the fever to hit first, because that, to me, your story, everything she's seeing is sort of distorted and nightmarish because she's looking at it through her fever and the pain that
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
already experiencing. So
Maybe-
that seemed more important to me than the insomnia or
Yeah,
the
but
tough
maybe-
to fall asleep. It is like, if the fever impacts the reader right away, I think it has more I don't know, more
Yeah,
impact.
like some, right, you're putting them seeing through that lens of fever. So
Right.
putting the reader into the feeling of fever, the chills mixed with heat, mixed with ache, and then trying to wrestle with the world around me. And then I think
Thanks.
Yeah.
then you can see how that person's struggling. Then with
Who is that?
It's Dina. Never mind.
yeah, everyone forgot that she wasn't on. I just happened to see my email.
Thank you very much. I got it with it worked. Thank you. I'm having some kind of problems with internet, like all my Ukrainian students. So anyway,
Well,
okay,
let's see.
keep going.
I'm
Okay.
done.
I think,
Yes, who was? Yes,
I-
Kevin, you were saying?
I
Yeah,
was,
go ahead, Kevin.
I agree
I was
with
just saying
them.
that well, you're setting the scene and you're setting the tone and the mood, and that mood is, as Lynn was saying, the fever coming out first, and then having to experience the world through that lens of fever, I think really helps you understand the difficulty that this person's having, instead of adding that afterwards. Oh, by the way, I'm also sick. I have diarrhea, in case you didn't know. There's diarrhea up first.
Mm.
I'm glad you didn't go into the diarrhea.
Having a low,
Frankly.
having a full abdomen spurting out as you're trying to get to the toilet is important than someone just trying to get to the toilet and then finding out that that's what was going on all along.
Yeah. I mean, I love the message of this story. I read through to the end. And when we are in a fever, we don't think right. Life is distorted, and all these metaphors that seem extreme, well, that's reality when you're in that feverish state. And yet when you get to the end of the story, all this insanity was just like poised on the head of a pin. Boom, it was gone. Oh, he's okay. Well, I think I'll have a cup of chamomile tea. I loved that. I loved that message,
I've been sick to where I hallucinated.
Me too.
Where it felt like my hands, well, there's that song Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd, but my hands did feel like that. They felt like all my fingers felt like balloons that a clown would use in balloon animals. Everything was sensitive to the touch, and I was emotional, and all these things were just too much when actually nothing was going on at all, except that I was sick.
And I think if the reader understands that this fever, the extent of this fever, by the time you get to the line, numb as a drugged zombie, that doesn't seem too extreme to describe what's happening to her.
Right, yeah. Well, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Really good. Okay, are you ready to start reading, Anna?
Yes, I just have to find it. One
I think it
second.
starts on page 7.
No, it's just, I have to find his, oh, here it is. Operation Hero Nick. Yeah, okay, it's the
And you have to go to the
colored
purple
part.
words.
Yeah, I'm going, okay, here it is, okay. Mother tilted her head as I entered, and the most indescribable look fell over her. It was the look of a soldier come home to find his house bombed to the ground, or a child having seen a ghost. Jesus, she said, squinting, mouth open, forming a graceful O. She leaned against the mantel, and as she were about to fall, to be propelled into the space that was our shabby living room. The space that was our shabby living room. What's the meaning of this? Your sister's letter. What exactly is this all about? Let me explain, Nan said, shifting back and forth. Nan stared at me, a look that clearly meant, what the hell were you thinking? She was a petite, chestnut-haired woman of 26, but she looked old now, a weariness in her eyes. Explain, Mother shouted, gripping the edge of the chair. She shook her head. I don't want simple explanations. I want answers now. What is this about Nicholas dying? It was like being a nightmare and waking up, a moment when you wanted out, where you could see the reality of things taking shape again, but you were stuck. A part of me thought about running out of the apartment, from the town even. But looking into my sister's wide owl-like eyes, I lost the urge. Mother rose and sat down again. She raised and lowered her cat-eye glasses several times. Then she rose and walked over to me, still near the door. Her face was flushed. I don't know if I want to hear this, she said, staring at me. She struggled to articulate each word. She was breathing heavily, short, rasping breaths. She squeezed her fingers tightly. What the hell is this? What were you thinking? Surprise, I joked. The dead do tell tales. Don't be fatuous, Nick. Mother fumbled through the papers in her hand, adjusting and readjusting them. She read it aloud, her voice wavering. September 7th, 1956. Dear Mother, I regret to inform you that Nikki has passed away suddenly. Our beloved Nikki was struck by a train trying to salvage a young woman's stalled roadster, or so I believe according to police accounts. The detective in charge told me that Nikki had a heart of gold, risking his life. I was greatly moved by this small grain of comfort in these trying times. I should be frank, I'm trying to organize the best funeral possible. I hate to trouble you. I know as an author of great renown that you must be caught beyond control in deadlines and fame and press. I believe Nikki deserves the best funeral, a boy whose life had yet to be realized. I'm certain as a mother that you would not want to abdicate your duties. If at all feasible, mind you send a few $100s. As you know, I'm a high school teacher and as such cannot pay homage to Nikki in a befitting manner. Any contributions would be welcome. Your distraught daughter, Nancy Elizabeth Boltkin.
That was good.
Mhm.
I like the way you wrote that letter. It was the way they used the English language at that time. It didn't have any of today's colloquialisms in it. It was really good. Like that. Too many people don't, myself included, start adding in your colloquialisms because you're so used to them and it doesn't work.
On the first page, the paragraph that starts, Jesus, she said, squinting, mouth open, forming a graceful O. The thing is that I tried to say the word Jesus forming a graceful O, but it didn't happen. So maybe it's kind of a contradiction.
Yeah. Mhm.
And if she's saying, if she's talking, then she cannot have the mouth open.
Yeah.
You could put that part before she says Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Her mouth fell open, forming a graceful O. And then, I don't know, Jesus.
Yeah, separating the two, you know,
Yeah.
not at the moment that she's saying she's mouth open, forming the O, just two separate things.
Mhm. The graceful O is like a shock, a moment of shock. Oh, that could come before she said Jesus.
Well, you could start one line squinting, her mouth hanging open, forming a graceful O. And I would put the O in single quotes. And then a new line, Jesus, period, period.
Mhm.
And then she leaned against the mantle as if she were about to fall.
Mhm.
That way you could get that squinting, you could get that mouth open, and you get the graceful O, and you have then the Jesus and how it knocks her off her feet. She has to lean on the mantle.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's all really good.
You don't need in the next, let me explain. Nan shifted back and forth. You don't need said, because she did an action.
Mhm.
And I don't, think about this, maybe I'm wrong. Nan stared at me. What the hell were you thinking? And just take out a look that clearly meant, because you're telling them what they're gonna see.
Mm.
Right.
Mhm.
Only,
And I was gonna ask, I had written this part down, I hadn't noticed that until just now, but what made her look old?
Mm.
So, you said that she looked old. She was a petite chestnut-haired woman of 26. Her eyes made her face made her look so much, or her sunken cheeks and tired eyes and drooping mouth. That way you can do something with taking out that weariness and that she looked old. How her appearance seemed to have changed her overnight, from the time she got the letter or read the letter. This happened, that her looks went from a 26-year-old to an old. But right now I'm telling you instead of saying it right, showing you. And so, Jane, did you have something you wanted to say?
No, I'm just liking the where you're going.
Okay.
I have one thing though.
Yeah.
This is told from his point of view, not Nan's point of view, which is why I don't know that Nan stared at me. You have to know that he's thinking, what the hell were you thinking? He's thinking that she's thinking, what
Yeah,
the
you
hell
can't-
were you
you can't
thinking?
hear
It's
in
kind
somebody
of
else's
tricky because you
head,
don't want to
yeah.
head hop,
Uh-huh.
it's the only thing.
So actually, you could just take out, I could see Nan looking at me like I'm crazy. Or stared at me like I'm crazy. And this
Yeah.
morning when I saw her, she looked,
Or same thing. You could just describe, not like you were saying earlier, Kathleen, just what does her
Doesn't
face
need-
look
you
like?
don't
And
need it.
that's what he sees, right?
Yeah.
You just can say her eyes are doing this, her mouth is doing this, she's like, whatever. You can
Mhm.
just, so that we know, we know by her expression what she must be thinking, or at least he knows because he's her brother.
Mhm.
Right.
He
Or you could say,
knows
if I could
that.
hear her thoughts, I know she was saying, what the hell were you
Yeah.
thinking?
Good
Yeah,
idea.
exactly.
Good suggestion.
Mhm.
Good suggestion.
Good.
Or even a memory, because I know there's a lot of memory between them. He could be remembering that she said stuff like that to him before, even same kind
Mhm.
of thing.
It carried that look.
That I knew so well from
Mhm.
my sister.
Mhm.
In the next part, I like where the mother shouted, "Explain!" Gripping the edge of her chair, she shook her head. what is this? I would put, what is this about Nicholas dying first? I don't want simple explanations. I want answers now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, much better.
I like
That's
this next
because I've been
paragraph.
changing a lot of sentences and finding my subjects at the end and not the beginning, so.
Me too.
Anyway, we all fix our own mistakes when we see them in somebody else's work.
Mhm.
I like this part. Part of me thought about running out of the apartment from the town even, but looking into my sister's owl-like eyes, I lost the urge. Maybe a little bit more dramatic. I couldn't do it. But I do like I lost the urge. So
Yeah.
remember, you don't have to take what we say. You get to pick and choose what you want because it's your
Mhm.
work.
I liked when you said, "Don't be fatuous, Nick," because I get that the mother is this, highly educated author, and she's famous, and she's going to pull out a big word that's in her arsenal for her attack here. That seemed really in character.
Mm-hmm.
There's also something here that's kind of bothering me. The mother, where is it? The mother, she leaned against the mantle as if she were about to fall. And then later, the mother rose and sat down. No, before that, she gripped the edge of the chair. So was she sitting or standing? And then she rose and sat down again.
Mhm.
So something here is not
Mhm.
not following.
Following the actions of the character.
Yeah. Was she standing or was she sitting before she rose and sat down again? Then she rose and walked over to me.
On that, where then she rose and walked over to me.
He's getting up and down a lot.
Yeah,
Mm.
I would just say standing, or she stood and came to me, came to my side near the door. Don't need the word still. So
She was sitting right before this part started, and then
yeah.
she grips the chair, which she could grip the chair without being seated in it, but
Mm-hmm.
then she rose. A lot of movement. No wonder she's breathing heavy, short, raspy breaths.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could even say that she was acting out of character, like a jack in the box, up and down.
And then once she finally does stop standing and sitting as the letter gets read, then she just begins taking her glasses off
Mm-hmm.
as a It's like a nervous
Mm.
tick, I guess.
Yeah.
Into that.
Also, I need to ask something. I know this is 1956, and the way children talk to their parents is not the way they talk now. Not only the words and but even though, and the mother was away from them for so many years, they didn't have any contact with her. But the sentence, almost to the end, I'm certain as a mother that you would not want to abdicate your duties. It's just too formal for a daughter talking to a mother about the brother that was dead. You know, it's even for 1956.
That's from his point of view. Like he wrote the letter,
No,
didn't he?
no,
Yeah, he wrote the letter.
And he's
the
a little
sister
boy.
wrote.
He's trying to
he
sound like his
forged
older
her
sister.
name. Yeah, he forged her name. Didn't he, Yash?
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he forged her name. That's why Nan's so upset at him because her little brother
Okay.
did this.
I think he's
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
sound like he thinks she might sound.
Right.
You know, pulling out the
How
big
he
words,
imagines.
you know.
Right. How he imagines. Right.
And especially since his mother seems kind of scholarly, you know, I kind of get, you know, he might try to impress her with having a
How old
sister
is-
that's scholarly too or something.
Okay.
How old is Nikki?
16.
But he seems
Because he would have
precocious.
been hearing duties all his life. It's your duty. It's your duty. It's your duty. Back then, you know, this is what you do. So,
Yeah.
because it was my duty to cook and do dishes, clean the house. It was my brother's duty to do everything outside in the yard. So,
Right.
and would Nan call him Nicky or Nicholas?
Oh, she'd call him Nicky. The mother would call him Nicholas.
Okay.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. I like the story as a whole.
Mhm,
Was, yeah, a good story.
mhm. I don't have anything else.
I read the whole story.
Oh,
Mm,
thank you.
Yeah, I did too. I really
I
liked
did
it.
too.
I liked it a lot.
We have good writers.
We do.
We do.
And if this is part of a book, Yash, because I noticed in your short stories, Nan and Nikki are appearing, or Nicholas. I'm really curious to read the whole book, you know.
Yeah, that's yeah, there are different variations of them. It's called Choose Your Own Nick. You know, different what if universes and, you know, realities.
Mhm. Oh,
Don't
interesting.
we have to wait till after Easter?
Oh yeah. Oh
Because
yeah, which I guess is in contravention because of the familial dysfunction, and I was trying to give up familial dysfunction stories for Lent, but that's not going to happen.
They're endless.
I think
Right.
to hear Yash say he's giving up dysfunctional families for Lent was kind of like being any of us saying, I'm just not going to write for the next month and a half.
Mm.
Okay, who wants to be the next two to get critiqued?
What are we critiquing
yeah,
for?
can
Stories
we-
that we're working on in the
right.
future?
It can be anything, honey.
Gonna
It
be
can be a book you're
anything.
working on. It could
Okay.
be, another short story that you're getting ready to submit to a contest, or something that you're just writing for yourself, anything.
Being ready for yourself. Yikes.
Well, I'm working on that Christmas one already, which I think I may have only the one story.
Okay.
So it's a long way off from being finished, but it's in there, and I've been changing it since some of you have read it, and I've had some good
How long is
responses,
it?
things that have triggered some other good writing. But before I say it, before anyone reads it or decides that before you want to do that, I'm still working on it heavily. So I can't say that it is the way it would look. And there's a lot of archaic language because of this one character who, and I don't know if I should ruin it, may or may not be the imagination of the character who's seeing it. It speaks in a lot of old English and throws in other old languages because he's very ancient. And so though it makes sense to the person listening, I wouldn't want you to read too much into it as you're reading it. Like, what's that word? What's that word? You're not supposed to really know the word always. You just know that it rings of some familiarity of some older word that would make sense because his name is in fact a word like that.
Okay.
But I'm just throwing that out there. If you decide you want to, just know that there's some archaic kind of thing going on that I wouldn't want. So, because you'll get so tied up in that, you'll only be critiquing that. And I want it to be odd to the reader. Like it's what the person is hearing he's almost like interpreting what this voice is saying as if he were schizophrenic or something.
I want to say something. You said that this might be the only story. I want you then to challenge yourself to write a 300-word short story, a flash fiction. Because
I could.
Our agreement is everybody writes
two stories, Kevin. Yeah.
Well, no, I
stories, but
have
nothing,
another story, but
nothing like what we have this month.
Right, but I'm expecting that this one, the way I'm building it out, I already know it's going to be longer than 5 or 6. It's going to reach into the 8,000 or 9,000. So I thought I'll probably just work on this one and have it be one story for the.
No, because just like I did with mine, that first one, Intolerance, yes, it was like 10,200 words, and I wrote a 600-word short story, a flash fiction.
Oh, okay.
So that's not bad. That's acceptable.
I'll throw in a haiku.
Yeah.
For my second.
But I want, the agreement is 2 stories, 10,000 words or less.
Yeah.
That's the agreement. Yeah.
That's the agreement. And so we really need to stick to that. And if you find that your main story is getting really, really long, then it's time to practice flash fiction. And that's important that you do that, because there are going to be times that you might need that ability. So it's not a wrong thing to challenge yourself with that.
I'd also say that, like, I was talking with my editor who didn't edit my stories for spring. And she said, sometimes you'll write a short story just because you want to try to do something a little different. And I thought, well, that's dumb. I write what I write, and I don't write different things. So then I'm at my computer and I'm trying this short story because I wanted to try something a little different. And I discovered that she had a point. And sometimes just trying something, even though I'm never going to write a whole story like that, but just trying a little bit different here with a perspective or a voice or even a genre, it really does help grow your ability to write the things that you are going to write.
Mm-hmm.
So I every time Kathleen says write a 300-word story, I'm like, no. Because I think I would have 300 words to explain the story I'm about to write.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The shortest story I've ever written is 300 words.
Mine's 50.
That's
I'm
good,
not
Jane.
sure I'm
Shortest one I've written was 11 words.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's something that you should have in your repertoire because it helps you when you do have a limit, such as 5,000 or 6,000 words, and you have to prune it. So I was doing a lot of flash fiction and it got me to where I could prune better my own work. I could harden my heart to those sentences and phrases I was in love with. Or I could take 10 words and turn it into one word. I haven't been doing flash fiction lately and it shows in my work because I get too wordy.
Mhm.
I complicate it instead of keeping it KISS, I turn it into MESS.
I think the great thing about Flash, sorry.
I'm starting to work on the winter story. I could go next for the critique.
Okay, Jane?
Is that next week?
No, 2 weeks.
So it's not the 10th, it's on the 17th.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Who is Tanya Rosanas Olewski?
One
Me.
of her students.
It's my secret name.
Okay. Kevin, you want to bring some of yours? Or are you going to be able to be here next week?
Yeah, I'll be
Or
here
2 weeks? 2
Yeah.
weeks.
the next 3. I'll be here for the next 3 Thursdays.
Okay,
Great.
Kevin
Yeah.
and Jane. Because they're working on their Christmas stuff. Or you can-
Christmas stuff.
it
Does that
doesn't
be
have to that.
Christmas?
Or winter,
Yeah.
winter book.
Mine is
Winter.
Christmas. It's called Saving Santa. Yeah.
Mhm.
Ooh,
Wow.
Ooh, we're gonna
red
have
suit.
we have
Ooh.
contradicting stories.
Good, that's good.
Goody,
Killing
goody, goody.
Santa and saving
Windshield,
Santa.
I'm driving a car and there's windshield wipers of my car.
Okay, someone's got to write a Psycho Santa story.
A psycho Santa. You can do that. You are.
Yeah, you're the perfect
You are
one.
chosen. Yes. Yeah. Nana Nikki, me, Psycho Santa. Yeah.
Oh,
Sounds
that's
great.
a good one.
Dysfunctional
That
Santa.
sounds
joint,
great.
it
The
sounds like.
the dysfunctional Santa knocks at the door, comes down the chimney. Great. Good stuff.
Yeah, I actually did write one
Mhm.
once. I mean, where he got I guess a DUI for driving a sleigh drunk, you know, because Mrs. C was having a liaison with an elf.
Too much.
What I'm
Fine.
picturing,
That's too much. That's
the
TMI.
picture I have in my head are
Yeah.
adults late at night, Christmas party, and they hear something and they see Santa coming down that fireplace, but like a breech birth. So he's coming down he's coming out butt first with his legs, and they're just
Oh.
seeing his big white
Oh.
butt coming out.
Of a
They're
fireplace.
standing there with their drinks, like, what the hell is that? And
Yeah.
it looks like, like an elephant giving birth out of the fireplace.
Good.
I-
Oh my God.
I'd say it's a full moon
Yeah.
that Christmas.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Very good. Good.
Okay,
He's trying to shake the snow out of his butt crack, and then he gives like,
Okay, I want to send a plea to everybody to
I hate when
pay
that
through
happens.
April, just in case we have a big copy-editor bill.
Right away.
yes,
So if
Yes.
you don't know how much you owe, if you don't understand my little spreadsheet, just ask.
okay.
I am so happy to collect all your money
Oh,
and
my
do
goodness.
fun things with it.
But I
Okay.
recognize that we're pushing 2 hours, and are you still recording this? Yeah, you are.
Yes, I am.
Several people have talked about things that they're working on, because we talked about what we're doing for next week, but is everybody working on something? Who has
I
a tough
am.
We're working on something, like you say,
And
we
my-
always write, but
Yeah.
maybe
My
it's not
novel's gonna be debuting
winter.
too.
So what, I'm looking at your spreadsheet. So where does it say how much you owe right
So
now?
now,
The last column.
There is a column that says how much you still owe for this season. So it's the amount still due for current season. It's the fourth
Mhm.
column. So Kevin, you still owe $50.
Okay. I'm just not seeing in there.
Well, look, if you look on, can you see it?
What are your names?
Right.
I mean,
Of the numbers, it's the third number.
let
column.
me,
I got
do
it.
we have time? I can share my screen because maybe the email's not so clear.
It's
Yeah,
called-
go
Want me
ahead
to
and
do
share
that?
your screen, hon.
Okay, there you go. So, see, Kevin, this is
Okay.
your line 12 right
Okay,
there.
I'm gonna
So you
take
go
care,
across.
I'm gonna take care of it right now.
So already you've paid 125, woo! And then amount due for this season, 50, and your
Mhm.
balance, so you've got $91, it's going towards the copy editor. And these are the amounts you've already spent, 1167 and
Oh.
2222.
So the $25 dues, is that part of the 50?
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yes.
is,
Okay,
yeah, I mean, you're
Mhm.
basically on time because you're not late, Kevin, because
okay.
25 is for March and 25 is for April. That's how
Oh,
it
I
works.
get it,
But
I get it.
but some people paid a little ahead because they were excited, like Jonathan, so excited. So he just paid me right in the middle of a meeting. It was very exciting.
Okay.
Okay, any other
Mhm.
questions? Everybody got this? We got Lynn in here with her
If you looked in the
150
middle of
because
it,
it looks
so-
good. Woo.
Mhm.
And so you can see I got my expenses here. That's this column where I'm
Mhm.
expenses paid out. We could paid out 305, 200 for the cover, 105 to Heidi. And so it totals up my balance. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. If you have any questions, let me know.
Okey doke.
But I remember Kathleen said, you said it, Kathleen, it's about $800 for this proofreader. So
Mm.
at
Is it
least,
any-
right. So you see here right now, we only have $768 and we still need to pay Heidi a little bit more money. So we do not have enough money. So we need everybody to pay their dues.
And that was 800 based on the maximum 10,000 per person
Right.
Mhm.
That's why we're in trouble with the words.
or the
Exactly.
expected, because we were expecting 83,000
Mhm.
anyway.
Yeah.
That
So
was
that's
why
why
I
I'm a
went ahead
little
and paid the 50. It wasn't because I just got excited. I just said, you know what? It's gonna
I
be
just got
there.
excited.
Why not?
Why don't you just take that? Somebody thought you. But anyway, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I get a little stressed when I see 768 and Kathleen had said at least 800. And I know that up here we see this 45. This is what we still owe Heidi up here.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay, folks. So I can go through this. Thank you, Kathleen, for your last payment. That'll be 60, still 50. Got Anna. Oh, why do I got two as Jerry? Oops. Sorry about that.
What's that?
That's supposed to be Lawrence, but
Same thing.
it's the same thing? No, what is
Yeah.
it?
Same person.
Yeah, he's just spelling it New Mexican.
Is Jerry more Mexican than Larry?
New Mexican.
We don't use Larry.
No,
So you use Jerry?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the name he uses.
it's
Oh,
no-
sorry.
You can still- That's still good.
no one knows why.
Aletta can straighten it out for
The
us.
other urban. The other
That was
urban.
my connection.
I don't know. Anyway, if there's any questions with this, just let me know.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank
Okay.
That's
you.
fine.
Mhm.
Thank you. And
We ready?
ladies.
Thank you,
and
guys.
gentlemen,
I can
Bye,
do
have a
that
good
stuff easier than write.
Adieu.
Bye.
Adieu.
You,
Bye-bye.
adieu,
Bye.
adieu, au
Bye.
revoir.
Bonsoir.
God bless you all.
You too.
Peace.
To all a good night.
Mm-hmm.